September the 23rd, 2024. Yesterday started out fairly well. I don't think I had any issues. Me and my oldest son, he came, or was he already there? I'm not sure. Was he already there at my house, or he came and we went and we did 2 blocks yesterday. One early in the morning and one in the afternoon. Wait a minute, or did I just have 1 block yesterday? Yeah, I think I just had 1 block yesterday. That's a shame that my memory is that bad. Especially when it just comes to everyday things. Trauma, I can seem to hold on to that and remember every little detail about trauma. But at any rate, when I dropped him off yesterday, I decided that I wanted to go and vacuum my car out for free at a car wash that if you wash there, you can vacuum there. And so initially I was just going to vacuum and just keep it moving. But somehow when I get to cleaning, I can't just regular clean. It has to go in deep. I got to get detail. And so that's what I started doing yesterday. And it wasn't a big deal, you know what I mean? But after about 20 minutes or so of doing it, I needed some music. And I didn't have my headphones. And I normally always have my headphones. And so I, really still not understanding a whole lot about my car. I know that if I push the button on it, the car will come on. But it won't start, but it will come on. And so I needed it to come on so that I can listen to the music. And so it comes on, I put the music on, and I'm really jamming, and I'm really getting in the groove. Like I'm getting into cracks and crevices, y'all. I mean, my car on the inside, because I didn't never wash it, it's clean. It probably could stand a little bit more cleaning, but baby, it's clean. So now I'm on the driver's side of my car when I do this. Work, and that's all I'm working on. Not the driver's back, just the driver's front. And so I'm moving over to the driver's passenger side, and my music started like tripping, but I didn't even think it had nothing to do with the car. You know what I mean? It just started tripping, and so I was like, damn, what's going on? But I wasn't really like, I wasn't thinking nothing about it. Then I started messing with it because it was, it was flicking off and on so much that I started messing with it. But all the while, I'm still deep cleaning, because I'm gonna tell you, my car, the bottom of my car where you put your feet at, it was just so much, and it comes from all the eating that I decide to do when I'm off my living, because I'm on my living all the way. Let's just say that even with all the dramatic shit I went through yesterday, which I haven't told y'all about yet, it never once occurred to me to eat, and usually when I'm feeling like as overwhelmed as I felt yesterday, that's like my first thought. And I start thinking about exactly what I want to eat. You know what I mean? Like, just think of something you want to eat that you decided that you're not going to eat anymore. That usually that's the first thing to come to mind. So that didn't happen. But anyway, after it started flickering, I started messing with it and trying to figure out what was wrong. And what happened was my battery was going out. Now, when it first started happening, I didn't realize what was going on, right? And now I'm in the back seat, and I'm starting on the back driver's side, and so I scooch my seat all the way up, because this side of my car is electronic, the other side is manual. And so I scooch my seat all the way up to the steering wheel so that I can really get in that back area, get it cleaned out. And it's not as bad on the back driver's side as it is anywhere in the front or the back passenger side. Lots of trash though from my son riding with me doing flex, and I don't like him to throw trash out. I don't know what it is about me and throwing trash out of my car. I don't like it. One time when I was living in Colorado, when I first moved up there, it had to have been like 2005. I was riding and me and my son had went and got something to eat somewhere, Burger King or something like that, my baby son. And when we got through with it, and this is something that I normally didn't do, but for some reason I was on this kick about trying to keep my car clean. And so I threw the bag of trash out of my car as I was riding down a road leaving from Boulder. And baby, somebody saw me do that, baby, and that man followed me and blew his horn. And when he caught up to me, he went off about, we don't throw our trash out, you know. I mean, he really got me together, you know what I mean? But, you know, and that I do believe that is what triggered me more about not throwing nothing out my car. But prior to that, I hadn't been doing it no way. It's not something that I felt like was a cool thing to do. But, you know, trying to keep my car together, because, you know, like if I think about that, I've been on this journey for a long time, just trying to create some good habits. And one of the habits that I want to try to create is having a clean car, because I be around people that have a clean car, and baby, their car is immaculate. You know, they keep their mug together, and it's just not something that I've been, you know, doing throughout my lifetime. At any rate, so my son leaves all kind of trash that I buy him. It was Taco Bell back there, you know, dirty cups, and because he'll throw shit out, you know what I mean? And I get mad because it's like, don't throw it out. But like if we at a gas station or something like that, or we stop somewhere and you see a trash can, then that's to me a good time to throw it in the trash. But he would throw it out the car, just in random spaces. And I don't like that. It bothers me, you know what I mean? At any rate, so I'm cleaning out my car, back to the story, because I will get off the subject and be on something totally different in a New York second. Anyway, so this is when the car decides to die completely, when I'm in the back seat on the passenger side cleaning up. But, I mean, I felt like I was in good spirits. It wasn't no big deal. You know, I would find somebody to give me a jump. Like, it was like, I really kind of had this spirit about me that, it would be fine. That's what I felt like. It would be fine. I would find someone to give me a jump. So I'm just cleaning. I'm looking around the car wash to see who I can ask, because it's clear on both sides of me, on the passenger side and the driver's side. There's no cars around me, and I need really for nobody to be on the passenger side. On the driver's side of me, because that's where my battery is. And so, and I was thinking, I don't think I thought this clearly, but if somebody pulled up there, then I could definitely ask them, because they would be in the right position to give me a jump. Well, the first person that pulls up is this guy in a pickup truck, and he's cleaning up. And at this point, I'm on the passenger side of my car, and I got both of the vacuum things in the back of my car. I got the one that's on my side that I'm working on, and the one on the other side. So he's working around trying to get his done, because the one on his driver's side, he's saying it's not working. It is working, but he's saying that it's not working. But I didn't, you know, he didn't say that to me. I could just sense his energy that moving around. Truthfully, I could just sense his energy. And so I go around to my driver's side, because I'm finna get ready to hand it to him. So he like, are you using that? I'm like, no, I'm not using it right now. I said, here you go. I said, but can I ask you a favor? He was like, what? I was like, when you get through done doing your car, could you give me a jump? And then he was like, oh, my battery weak, and you know, I can't do that. And I said, oh, okay. So then, you know, I just said, oh, okay. I didn't say anything else. It probably was a look of disgust on my face. You know what I mean? Because he was saying no. But the look didn't come from him just saying no. It really came from all the excuses that he created, because it was more than just what I said about why he couldn't give me a jump. And I was just thinking to myself the whole time, you know, just say no. You know what I mean? You don't have to go into all this detail. And so, you know, and I'm sweating profusely because I'm working really hard, you know, doing my car. And so I watching me do my car, and you know, I could see him like shifting back and forth about him not helping me. And so I'm back on my driver's side again, and he's starting in again about I said, you know what, don't worry about it, I will get it worked out. And I said it that aggressive because it's like, stop. If you're not gonna help me, don't, you know, do that. You know, oh, I wish I could help. Oh, if you wish you could help, you would help. Period. And so I keep going, but still, and really I want him to move because I'm like tired of doing my car for real, and I really want to just find somebody to jump it off. You know, after dealing with him, I want to find somebody to jump it off so I can just get out of there, because I'm getting very angry, and I'm feeling like, you know, that's messed up that he won't give me a jump. Like, I'm not asking him for a lot. I don't know, you know, he claimed his battery was weak. Now, obviously mine was weak too, but even if my battery was weak, I probably would have helped somebody. You know what I mean? Knowing, because I knew that I had some problems with my battery. I didn't know that I had some problems with my battery, but you know, I've been dealing with a bunch of issues with my car. And when they did that first estimate of what I needed done, they threw the battery in there and said that it needed replacing. I saw that, and it was like $270 some. They were saying that it was going to cost to be replaced. And I was thinking, you know, I'll just go to AutoZone. I know I could get something cheaper than $270 some, but I didn't think that it was a big deal about my battery. So now he's lingering around because he was ready to go. So he's lingering around, you know, and just telling the story now, he probably wanted me to ask him again, but I wasn't going to do that. I really wanted him to move, and I was really close to going back up to his window of his car and telling him, can you just move so I can ask somebody else that's in the, because at that point it's like eight or nine people in the car wash, and that car wash can hold a lot of people. And so when he finally leaves, there's just one girl and somebody over in the corner of the car wash. And I didn't want to ask the girl because I was like, I don't know why I didn't want to ask the girl. I just thought maybe it would be better if it was a man that assists me in this thing, because me and her, you know, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know what I was thinking, you know what I mean? But I was probably thinking me and her couldn't handle it. A man needed to have blase, skippy weep. So I just get back into, you know, doing my car, and I know somebody else is gonna pull up there, and while I'm getting back into my car, it seems like the car wash starts to get, you know, more people again, you know, because at first it had thinned out real good, and then it's getting more people. So a guy pulls up in a nice little brand new truck. I don't know what kind of truck it was, but you could tell it was brand new. And so I said, excuse me, can I ask you a favor? And he didn't hear me. And so he said, and I said, okay, excuse me, can I get a jump from you when you get through doing whatever you need to do with your car? And then he was like, you know, it's really a matter of fact, not with this car. So I was like, oh, okay. And I was ready to move on. He was like, nah, I can't get nobody no jump with this car. Now, if I had my other car, you know, and I got a little jumper box that I normally have in my other car, I could have used my jumper car, but, you know, I can't do it with this car. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm getting aggravated with your motherfucking ass. Now you say no and move on. You don't need to, you know, throw in 1,000 excuses of why you can't help me. You know what I mean? And so then he comes around to his passenger side, or to the driver's side, to talk more about why people like him can't give me a jump. Because I was like, well, don't, I think I said something like, well, if no is sufficient, you don't, I don't know what I said, but, obviously I gave him the impression that, he wasn't the only one. So he wants to explain to me why it is that if somebody else has told me no, that the reason why they can't do it because the newer cars that are being made cannot give you a jump, because if they do, they'll mess up their car giving you a jump. Now, I don't know how true that is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, that could be true, but I don't believe that. You know what I mean? I believe that because you got a new car, you don't want to give anybody a jump for fear that you might mess your car up. But giving somebody a jump couldn't possibly mess your car up, because you extend some cables from your car to my car and give me some energy. I'm not gonna believe that. Somebody else can, a mechanic maybe could tell me that, and I would believe it. I don't believe it on in his end, because he just didn't want to do it. Now, this is the second man that has pulled up next to me that has said no. So at this point, I am distraught. I'm feeling like, nobody wants to help me. And what's going through my mind is, that Black Mother Womb podcast that I've been listening to, she said on one of the podcasts that, she made a post one time on Twitter about black women who are hyper independent and don't need nobody, and they did. And I'm paraphrasing for her too, because I can't remember exactly what she said, but she basically saying, you so independent, you won't ask nobody for help, and you'll just do everything on your own, and you won't ask people for help. And when I was listening to that, I didn't feel like that was me, because I will ask for help. Now, it's rare that I will ask for help, but I will do it. And the example that kept coming to my mind when I was listening to that podcast was the fact that I had started going to Al-Anon for community. My mother is an alcoholic, and she was drinking a lot during that time that I started going to Al-Anon, but I wasn't going because I knew that she was an alcoholic and I needed help. I literally went because I just wanted to be around more people that had an experience like I was going through, and that I would be able to have community and have somebody to talk to and make friends. That's the reason why I was going to Al-Anon. And I went to Al-Anon. The first stint that I went faithfully for about 7 months. And then it was about 6 months, because the flood happened. It's one of the reasons why I stopped going, because I was just so depressed behind that flood of July of 22, where I lost my car and everything that I owned, and because it was in my mother's house in the basement. My whole apartment, my whole 2-bedroom apartment was in her basement, outside of what I was actually using that was in the bedroom that I was staying in. So I lost everything, and so I stopped going to Al-Anon because, I really thought that somebody would help. I don't know how I wanted them to help or what I wanted them to do, but it was this, they got this thing at Al-Anon where they don't really help you. You know what I mean? They just go to meetings, it sound like to me, and rehash all the dramatic shit that they go through, and then, try to get the people who do it consistently, because there's some people that just won't stop. They just will go on and on and on and on and on about what's going on with them, and they won't stop it. So that first stint that I had went I would say about a month into going, because they really hype up the fact that you need a sponsor, that you need somebody that will, walk the steps with you. And so during that 6-month time that I had went the first time, I asked 2 different people to be my sponsor. And each time I asked somebody, they said no, you know, with a host of excuses as to why they couldn't do it. But that was fairly traumatic for me, because I was basically the only black person there. Now, there was another black woman there. She didn't come as much as I did, and she was so light-skinned, and her hair was fair like a blonde, that unless she started talking, you wouldn't know that she was black. And her name was Kathy. You wouldn't know that she was black unless she started talking. When she started talking, you knew instantly that she was black. And I didn't ask her. And I don't know why I didn't ask her. I could have asked her, and I didn't. But it was a white woman that I was asking. I don't know. I think it is a thing about black people when they in the same space, that they feel like that especially when they're in a space with a bunch of white people, that they don't feel comfortable banding together somehow. And I think that I was a product of that. Not Kathy's doing, but my doing. I'd have feared that Kathy would do it, because I've been in spaces like that before, with a lot of white people, and then there's one other black person, and they are like, they're basically looking at me like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me, don't talk to me. It's energetic for real, and so I'm real sensitive to energy. Anyway, back to the story. So, two people, long story short, I had asked, because I went back again to Al-Anon recently this year, and I probably went about 4 months this time. But when I wasn't going, nobody reached out and said, how you doing? This thing's going okay. Well, no, I'm not gonna lie. Mary Ann did. Mary Ann reached out. I even, when I joined this second time, I volunteered to be something. I don't even know what it was, but I thought maybe that would help me, like, create stronger bonds and be more committed to the Al-Anon process. And so in total, I asked 4 people during my stint at Al-Anon to be my sponsor, and every one of them said no. And for me, that was really devastating, based on the fact that they make it seem like the sponsor is the best part of this program. Like, you need a sponsor, you gotta have a sponsor to work these 12 steps. And I've asked 4 different people, and each time I asked somebody, it was harder and harder for me to do. And I asked 4 people, and nobody would help. And so now I'm at the car wash yesterday, and that's all that's in my mind. That I've asked these 4 people, and and this podcast that Jennifer is talking about, how you should ask people for help, and that's just going through my mind, that now I've asked 2 people that's pulled up next to me, men, for help, and they've said no. And it's like, it's something about me that people don't want to help me. They really don't want to help me. And so now I'm on my phone trying to think of someone that I can call for help, and I can't think of anybody. I'm even going through my messages to see if it's anybody that I can call and that I know that will come and help. Nothing. Y'all, I'm gonna have to make a part 2, because I done made it over here to this block, and I gotta get signed in. So I'll be back.